Hi everyone, my name is Madeline and I'm the Children's Director at the Oxford United Methodist Church. Not only do I do that, but I'm also a music teacher. Sometimes my class isn't really listening to me and they're talking to each other, and so I get louder so they can hear me. They're still talking and I get even louder and they're still talking. And then I say to myself, this isn't doing anything except for hurting my voice. Have you ever been in a classroom where the students are talking to each other and the teacher's trying to say something, but the students still aren't really listening because they're talking to each other? And then, if the teacher stands there quietly, oh no, now we know that it's time to listen. And I bet if I start speaking really quietly, you're listening to me even closer now. The Bible tells us a story about a man named Elijah. Elijah was chosen by God to share his messages, a lot like what a pastor does today. The queen where Elijah lived did not like that he was sharing the messages of God, so Elijah went into hiding. And Elijah asked God, "What do I do?" And God tried to send big, loud signs to Elijah. He sent a windstorm, and Elijah said, "I don't know what a windstorm is supposed to be telling me." God sent an earthquake, and Elijah said, "I don't know what that means." God sent a fire. He's trying to get Elijah's attention, and Elijah is saying, "God, I don't know what that means." It wasn't until God sent Elijah a whisper and told him softly what he should do and what he should say to his people and where to go. Sometimes it's not until we hear that quiet voice that we really start to listen. But it's hard to hear what God's voice is, especially since it's not something we hear in the same way as people talking to us. If someone walks by with some ice cream, I might shout out, "I love ice cream!" Or if someone walks by with some ice cream, I could say in my head, "I love ice cream," even though I didn't say it to the people around me. But if I say it in my head, it's probably just as loud to me as if I said it out loud to the people around me. That's kind of like how we can hear God's voice. Let me tell you something. All around us, all the time, messages are going through the air. Do you know how we can hear them? A radio. There are radio waves right now going through the air, and I can't hear them now because I don't have my radio on. But if I turn on my radio, then we can hear them. As Christians, we have a similar tool to listen to God, but it's not the radio, it's the Bible. By reading the Bible, we can know what God's Word is saying to us. If I come up to you and share my very favorite verse and I say, "Do not be anxious in anything, but by prayer and petition with thanksgiving give your requests to God," you might say, "Whoa, Madeline, you're sounding a little strange. You're not talking like yourself." And you might even recognize, hey, that kind of language sounds a little bit like it's coming from the Bible. God's Word is unique and recognizable. And if we read the Bible and study it, then we can know the difference between if in our heads we hear, "I love ice cream," which is probably our own little voice in our heads. But if in our heads we hear, "I don't need to be anxious. I can be thankful about this situation. And if I'm worried, I can pray to God." Then we can say to ourselves, "Hey, that sounds a lot like what I read in my Bible recently. I bet that that is God's Word." This is how we can tune in to hear God's Word, just like with the radio, we can hear the radio waves around us. Thank you.